Woman eating a store-bought salad finds an unexpected guest inside. You've probably heard stories of people who have found unpleasant surprises in their food. Maybe you even experienced it yourself. Discovering something that doesn't belong anywhere near your meal is a startling and unappetizing ordeal. A woman named Becky Garfinkel from Corona, California was sitting down for dinner with her family one evening, shortly after they'd gotten home from a shopping trip at their local Target. Becky had prepared individual salads for everyone to enjoy, but a few bites into hers, she let out a scream. Something in Becky's salad was peeking through the leaves of lettuce and right back at her. Finding something in your food that doesn't belong there is never a pleasant experience. It ruins an otherwise perfectly good meal, and it can even completely turn you off to a food you've always loved to eat. A woman named Becky Garfinkel from Corona, California was preparing dinner for her family one evening when she came across something that made her scream. Becky and her family had just gotten home from their local Target, where they did their grocery shopping for the week. They never had a problem with any of the food they'd purchased there before. In fact, Becky trusted it more than most of the supermarkets in her town. Becky planned on making a nice dinner that evening. She was going to make salads for everyone before she served the main course. She bought her usual triple washed organic spring mix of lettuce, which she strained in a colander and added onions and dressing to. But she had no idea what shocking surprise was in store for her. After Becky plated the last salad, she finally sat down to eat with her family. About halfway through her salad, she looked down and her eyes opened wide with horror. She leaped up from her chair and shrieked at what she saw on her dinner plate. It was a live frog. Becky couldn't believe what she was looking at, and neither could any of her family members. She was so confused. She washed and strained the lettuce thoroughly. So how did this little amphibian make its way onto her plate? Becky, who's a vegetarian, instantly felt nauseous. She started worrying about all the different types of bacteria the frog could have been carrying. She had no idea where he came from, and she was nervous it was from somewhere unsanitary. Would she be okay? Becky's husband pointed out that it was a simple tree frog, which brought her some peace of mind. However, her husband also noticed the frog looked sick. He started to wash the vinaigrette dressing off the little guy in the sink, but it seemed as though he was still having trouble breathing. Becky's husband carefully placed his finger on the frog's chest and gave him gentle compressions. Thankfully, after a few minutes, the frog livened up. Becky needed to let the store know about the incident. This was something that should have never happened in the first place, and she wanted to make sure it never happened again. She contacted her local Target and sent them a Facebook message, but she never heard back from them. Luckily, the Garfinkel family owned a large terrarium. They were initially trying to get rid of it, but it's since become a comfortable new home for their tiny amphibian friend, who they named Lucky. Lucky now spends his days hanging out on the little tree and tiny pond in his new terrarium. Becky still enjoys salads from Target, but she'll never forget the day she went to buy dinner and came back with a new pet. Thankfully, Becky and her husband are animal lovers, and they decided to take care of the poor little guy and give him a new home.